All right. Good morning, cyber traders. Welcome back. Happy Groundhog's Day. Was it Monday? Is that what today is? My God, this whole coronavirus. I'm like, we're all losing our mind. How's everybody doing? Good morning to see you, John from UK. Could you see you, Grant, Dennis, Mike, Bill, everybody? All right. Ken Thal, good to see you all. And welcome everyone that's watching live on YouTube and Facebook in our live feed. Welcome aboard. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your weekend. Pretty crappy here in New York. It's been cold and rainy. You know what they say, April showers bring May flowers. But over that, you know what? I guess it's back to work, getting out of there trading. A couple of good things are going on. I want to talk about, we got a couple of good movers that are moving this morning. I want to talk a little bit about, you got this one stock that's up over 100% already, this NAKD. We'll talk a little bit about that also. But the real story we need to talk about is is what happened on Friday. Okay, so Friday we had a very interesting day. And actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do a documentary on a little video on. I'll post it on YouTube. I'll do it. I want to share it with you guys regarding about one stock that we traded that we were killing it. And I want to go into great details about it, and stuff like that, because I like to save it for you guys to share it. But I want to talk about the Zoom trade. All I could say is this. I got out of it and I was so ticked off. Everything was going perfect. Everything was going nice. We were running the stock for like 130. We're at 180. We're breaking highs. And then sure enough, you had Facebook drop in their stupid 2 cents. They want to compete with them, and they tanked the stock right in front of us. So I'm going to tell you, and we got out right around 165, I think it was. So I lost like $4,000 on that trade. But technically, I didn't lose $4,000. I actually, because you didn't make any money until you sell it. I lost $4,000 in profits, So I was actually up, I don't know, I was up almost like 10,000 on that trade. And then I gave back like 4, you know what I mean? So that's basically where that comes in. But it all happened within less than freaking 10 minutes, right? It was just unbelievable. Really ticked me off. But you know what? That's part of the game. And you know what, though? If we didn't get out, I'll be down another 2,000 right now because where it's trading at. And you know what? I'm going to teach you a very valuable lesson because Zoom is no different than any other stock that we trade all the time. And I thought that was a really, really good lesson to learn. And you know what? How you become a good trader is you learn from being in trades. Okay. But definitely it's one thing to really put in what we teach you in here at Cyber Trading University. We talk about our journals. That's something that you really want to focus on. But there were a couple other ones. First of all, we've been talking about the stock all day long. INO has been an animal. We traded the stock, was at $6 back in March, another pharmaceutical stock, Corona stock. Let me just kind of bring this up over here a little bit differently. And you could see it right here. This stock has been literally treating us so well. And then in the past 5 days, and you can go back and look at our YouTube channels. You can look at our Twitter feed. We post this up. I said, you know what? This stock looks like a great swing trade. The problem with INO, it's not an easy day trade stock. This stock has some nasty, nasty shakes, and you probably figured it out already. But you know what? You could see, I mean, just look what happened at 10 o'clock. It ran from $12.50 all the way to $15. Beautiful trade. And then all of a sudden, like you're at 2 o'clock, like, oh, maybe it's going to go higher. And then all of a sudden, thing backs down to 14. So it's like, a dollar move is a lot, depending on how many shares you trade. But then sure enough, boom, right this morning, it gaps up. Now it's trending down. But INO is definitely on the watch list. Like I said, it's more of a swing trade than more of a day trade more than anything. But that one you guys did really well on. AMRN, famous stock. We've been trading this stock so many times. So AMRN, another good stock, filled in the gap. Putting it back on the watch list. AMRN. Wish I still had this stock on my swing trade, actually. I was trying to swing trade it, but no, the stock has got some nasty shakes in it, too. But we did talk about the gap fill, and that's exactly what it did once it broke past that $7 price range. So now you can see it's right back to where it started. Probably it might test 10. It might test 10 a little bit. You know what I mean? That's really where the more support and resistance level is. But that one is going back on the watch list. That one did pretty well. What else we had? The MESO on Friday. So this one actually $8 to 20. This was like ridiculous. I mean, where do you find things like this? Yeah, I know where, right here in Cyber Trading University's morning meetings, in pre-market. But this stock was obviously off the charts. This thing was just phenomenal. Fast, but it was pretty fun stock to trade. So I know a lot of you guys did really well. So anyway, there's a lot of stocks on my list I want to talk about. And remember today, for all my gold and platinum students, today is phase 3 class with me, which you all know is probably, was one of the, it's our last phase of the course where you're going to trade side by side with me. And remember, guys, it's not about, right now you being in for the ones in the trading room, I always repeat this all the time. This is Sunday football, okay? I'm just a coach. I call the plays, and you guys sure already know what you're doing. But in today's classes, if you are a student, that's where we actually going to take it, where we're going to strategize, we're going to have game plans, we're going to lose money, we're going to know why we lost money, so we're going to do it again, we're going to make money, we're going to know why we made money, so we can do that again. That's the big thing about being, education is a very, very good point. Remember, you can't be in class all day because you got to eventually have to train, put your money where your mouth is. But when those times come up, that's why these cycles end, which, by the way, it's the last week of the month, which is our last classes of the month. Now, regarding about what's going on this morning, listen, it's Monday. We know how to trade on Mondays. You got to be careful. Mondays is a very, very difficult day to trade. Not a lot of news over the weekend. Obviously, a lot of coronavirus going on. There's a couple of interesting things that really spark my interest. Not even more of a day trade, but more of a swing trade too. And I want to bring that up. Now, for some of you, I don't know if you guys watched this video, but I want to bring this up again, okay? Hold on. I'm going to bring this up. Okay. So I'm just going to go to CyberTrading University's website one more time, okay? And I just want to scroll down here, and I want you to watch the NASDAQ Total View Beginner Moving, a video, okay? I know I say this all the time, but watch it again, because what I'm going to talk about right now, obviously, is something that what I mentioned that day is what is going to explain why we're going to be in certain positions that we're in right now. So please watch that video. I think watch it again and listen, because I'm going to repeat what I said, and you're going to see why, where to get in, where to get out in certain stocks. So you can watch that right on our homepage. Anyway, let's go through the watch list, and I'm going to save that for the end. All right. So we got NAKD. All right. So that one is a stock I found this morning. Unfortunately, she's starting to trend down. She's up big. She's up 130%. She's a very inexpensive stock. She's got a good spread. 3.5 million shares already traded. Really, really nice move right there. I just don't like that she backed off. It's since 8 o'clock this morning, though, she's hovering here pretty good at this price range. Look on the right-hand side. A lot of volume out there. A lot of big moving stocks. A lot of orders. It's kind of hard to kind of distinguish where the iceberg order is, but there's a lot of orders out there. So let's see how she opens up. But she's not that bad. I know we already know about that's already on the watch list. I told you to be very, very careful on that one, because this one is it's got some nasty shakes in it. MDGS. Okay. So this one also up 27%. Got a really nice push right here at 8:10 this morning. Went from 220 up to 250. Came back down. You can see she's gapped up pretty nicely from, this is from last week. She's moving pretty nicely again. You can use last Friday's resistance and support levels due to today, and I'll show you. You could actually I'm sorry, wrong stock. You could this is the one that just gapped up. I thought it was from Friday. No, this thing's just gapped up. So scratch that out. You do got support levels right around here, 7 o'clock at 220. Now, did I have it up? Yes, I did. Okay. So the big thing that I'm looking at is right here. I'm going to go to level 4 really quick, and I want to point this out. Right here on the level 3, you can see it's a 28,000 share buyer at 25. And you could see a nice big red line right here on the level 4. This guy's been out here for a while, so it kind of tested it, and it kind of backed off. So there's a big, big buyer right there that's kind of supporting this stock. Remember, the number one thing that we teach, and the one thing that you always have to focus, which is our strategy. I don't know who else you're listening to, but you know what our strategy is here. You got to follow the money. You follow the money. You know where the buyers and sellers are. Then that's the guy you want to watch. I keep bringing this up, and I get these alerts from all the people, that are educating, and they're sitting on a couch talking about with their dog, and standing with a a glass of wine or whatever it is, or beer or scotch. And they keep talking about like, what made them buy this stock and whatever. Listen, you can use any indicator you want. Okay. You know who invented indicators? Mathematicians. Okay. You want to learn from a mathematician, then that's the right guy. I live here in New York. I was taught by the best trainers in the world. I worked with some of the best day tradings in the industry. Okay. And they always told me the same thing. Fausto, you think you know something about the stock market? You're going to lose everything. Okay. You follow the money and that's it. Because there's a guy out there right now looking to buy 26,000 shares. That's a hell of a lot more orders than you're putting. So why don't you just go out there and just watch that guy, what he's doing? Because guess what? Let's bring up DraftKings. Okay. Because DraftKings, I'm going to bring this one up. Let me bring up DraftKings. You guys watched me what I said on Instagram. Okay. And I also said on the Instagram post, I said, listen, put in your tweet, put a message. I'll tell you where the answer is by coming into this morning's meeting. And guess what? Could everyone tell me? You all know the answer to this because you were logged in, you're in the trading room. I said 22 is the IPO price. If it breaks 22, I will average up and buy more of this stock. Okay. Now, did I own it? Yes. And you know what? I got out of it because it didn't want to break 22. Okay. Why didn't it want to break 22? Because there was resistance. Not only because what makes a resistance? Sellers. Big resistance levels at 22. I said that's the major resistance. It didn't want to break it. And look what ended up happening. Stock drops down to $1.20. Okay. You would have lost, boom, like that. It's all about following the money. And that's why you were always ahead of the curve, not behind and chasing the curve. So anyway, that was a really, really, really good lesson. Not a trade, but a good lesson learned because that wasn't a big profit, but that would have been a big loss if you didn't have that game plan. Benito says MDSG is you got to be watching it. MDSG. Yeah, let me bring that up. Oops, typed it wrong. MDSH, you're saying? No, you spelled it wrong. It confused me. Yeah, okay. It's definitely worth watching. You got that resistance level. That's the one we just talked about earlier. Let's see if it holds there. But there's that big seller, that I don't really see him there anymore, actually, believe it or not. I don't really see him there. Yeah, you could see you could see the big balls that popped right here. It broke out. You got some sellers out here, but I'm not seeing a big seller like we did, like that big buyer out there. All right, so let's go through this because we're running out of time. And I gotta get ready for the open, and we got classes coming up. We got that one. We got Nate. Nate, we all know very, very well. I think Nate looks a lot nicer. Look at that trend on Nate. Tankers. We've been trading this stock for the past several days too. It's making higher highs. We all know what's happening with oil. We all know about now they're using these tankers to sit there and store them out there. Great stock. Stock's doing great. Not only has it been a great day trade, it's been a great, great swing trade for us also. Another stock that's doing pretty well for us. DFFN. Another one's going on the watch list. It's up 50. It's up 60%. It's a penny stock, which once again, I'm not a fan of. But for some of us, we do make some money once in a while. We will trade them, and it does have some good volatility, good movement. Reading level 3 is kind of hard to watch what's going on with the buyers and sellers. Once again, that's the only reason why I am totally against trading these stocks. Very hard to see where those orders are. Another stock that's up 32%, almost 500,000 shares already trading pre-market. AVDL, another nice little mover. Flat. You can see it's kind of flatlined right here. But we'll see how she opens up. She did test 1550. We know about Emma. Okay, now, like I told you earlier, what is the strategy? Now, remember I told you the video to watch that when I was on NASDAQ, which obviously, just let you know, that was probably the last week they did any interviews until coronavirus. So in that interview, they were asking me, it says, Fausto, she's like, Jill was telling me, says, it was great to have you back again. I'm a regular guest on that show. And they said, because they don't have real day traders to come on there. They wanted, me preaching what they want you to know using their platform. That's why I'm on there. And they would talk to me, you know what, Fausto, there's no better time having you on here. And she said, could you tell me what we should do? And I said this, she's like, when's a good time to buy? And I guess everybody's always asking that. I said, listen, when you get the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst news and the stock doesn't go down any lower, that's when you buy. Okay. So let's go and check out an industry that I think that we're getting there. Cruise stocks. Look what happened here to Royal Caribbean. From the worst of the worst of the worst news, the stock went from 130 down to 25. Do you notice it's not really going anywhere? With all this terrible news, they're not selling any tickets. They're not going anywhere. I think they found their sweet spot as of right now. Look at the trend. And Josh knows this. If you know, it's starting to build a little more of a pennant. What does that tell us? Okay. CCL, same exact thing. Resistance at 20, support at 10. It's right about there. Okay. Another one. NCLH. Another one. Norwegian Cruise Line. They all look exactly the same. Now, I can't say this about the airlines because I was checking out the airlines and, they don't look the same on the chart. They do not look the same. Bring up Delta. You see that chart? Totally different. Okay. So, Ken says, I love Norwegian Cruise Line. Well, listen, I love cruises too. Like I said, I came back 2 weeks before they shut down the whole cruise line. I was on a Disney cruise with my family, which I think probably a very, very good cruise line. Very nice, classy people. I mean, obviously I'm not into the Disney thing, but a really, really great food. I'm a big foodie guy. And by the way, I'm going to post a couple of I'm going to teach you guys how to cook too. So one thing I was going to do when someone was asking me, says, Fausto, I know you're a big cook. Could you teach me how to trade and also cook at the same time? I said, yeah, no problem. So I'll get a couple of cool videos of that too coming up. But which, by the way, you guys can always watch it. You ever watch my video, Fausto's Home Living? I think you guys watched it. You guys watched my Fausto's Home Living, where I show you how to make jarred tomato sauce, Italian tomato sauce. I think it's a great video, professionally done. I think you guys are going to love it. Yeah, go on YouTube, look up Fausto's Home Living, and you love the chickens, Bonnie? Yeah. Don't worry. I'm going to share my chickens with you too, guys. Listen, I'm all about, I'm all about, with this coronavirus, it's actually helping having nice, fresh, organic chickens. And also they're very good to keep you sane, actually. So, I can't touch up my own cooking set. I might. Don't listen. Trade and cooking are my two biggest, and gardening are my two biggest hobbies. So anyway, getting back to trading. So listen, the big thing is this. I love Delta, great company. I wish the best for it. I always fly Delta. You might like something else, but at the end of the day, doesn't mean I still will not short it, whatever it is. It's just not a buy yet. Okay. But I would keep an eye on those cruise liners. Because they really hold, it's the worst of the worst of the worst news, and they still have not dropped. So as a swing trade, I'm going to be considering looking into it. All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot, Bonnie. Thanks for sharing that. I got a great family. I appreciate it, Bonnie. All right, guys. So listen, you got the watch list. Class starts next. Okay. So if you are a student at CyberTrading University, we only do 16 lessons a month. And this is our time where we shine and learn what we learn. So don't listen. I always say this. Don't worry about it. The stock market is not going out of business. You don't have to worry about jumping in. If you miss something, great. But I think there was some great lessons learned this morning regarding about the DraftKings trade, working in pre-market, telling you about that on the Instagram, which I'm there posting one trade a day regarding what's going on pre-market. So follow me and get your answers and share it. Go out there and share it with people. You know what I mean? But it all starts here, getting here in the morning meeting, and then most importantly, going into the trading room. But you gotta, listen, you gotta learn before you can earn. Listen, guys, good luck today. Be safe. We'll be back at 2:30 for the afternoon meeting live on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. And then for the cyber traders in the room, be safe. You see something, guys, you say something. All right. And if you're not going to be in the trading room, I'll see you in class. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Be safe.